Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now last weekend, Saturday, I went to Portrush, 4 miles from me, to visit a record fair. Now it's the same old standard record fair that does the rounds in Northern Ireland, and there's not that many sellers. There's only about 3 or 4 different sellers, and usually there's very little there on offer that I'm interested in. But I went down expecting nothing, but I ended up buying 3 albums, pop albums from the 80s for £10, which I'll show in the next inbox video, a CD for £2, and the big one was I bought a Beatles box set. Now this is the one, this came out in 1980 and it's one of those world record box sets. And I bought it for the total price of £48. Now you can let me know below whether you think I'm done, I paid too much or I paid too little. But the box itself is in decent condition. There's a couple of wee things like there's a sticker in there which was hiding a ripped part of the box. So obviously the original sticker was there, and they ripped it off and they left a mark, so they put another wee sticker there, so it's cheating a little bit. And the box itself, if I can get this open, it does have a little tear there and a tiny little tear there. The inside gives you all the track listing. There's 8 LPs. There's no inserts, and I'm not too sure whether there should be an insert. I have a feeling there should have been some sort of a leaflet in there, but it doesn't really matter. And there's the back. Now the 8 LPs are all in, I would say, excellent condition. I'm not going to say they're mint because they're not. I don't think any LPs are mint. As soon as it's opened it loses that mint status to near mint. But these are extremely clean albums, and I'll go through each of them and I'll actually read you the track list. Now, as I say, £48, I thought it wasn't a bad price. I am a Beatles fan, first of all, but I'm not a Beatles obsessive. I do have all the Beatles albums, and I've actually got all the McCartney albums between CD and LP of all the John Lennon studio albums, and I've also all the George Harrison ones, apart from those 1960s experimental things, and I don't have John Lennon's experimental ones either. And I actually do have a good half a dozen or so Ringo albums, but as I say, I'm not an obsessive. I don't have multiple copies, but I fancied this because I've heard that there's some different mixes on this set compared to the actual LP versions. Now I know there's some mono versions rather than stereo and back and forward, but I can't tell the difference between mono and stereo unless I'm listening in headphones, and I don't listen in headphones. I remember whenever I actually did ages ago, when I did have headphones and I listened to the Rubber Soul album and CD, I thought it was absolutely dreadful, you know, but playing the CD, you know, in your normal player without the headphones, it sounded okay. But the first one we'll say is these covers are very cheapy. They look like a Reader's Digest cover, and also I have to say it's really weird because in the very early 1980s the Beatles catalogue wasn't treated that well, because you would never get a box set like this nowadays. You know, I think it was retailing for about 30 quid or something back in 1980. But even the Beatles were on Music for Pleasure. Not disrespecting Music for Pleasure, I love the label, but you would never expect the Beatles to be on it. But the good thing about this is they're all on the Parlophone label, even though it is World Records that released it, so there's no custom World Records label, which is great. So there's no other information or any leaflets in this, but I'll go through the track listing of each of the albums, and all the labels are the same, so I'm not going to take them all out. It does give you a write-up on each LP, so that's where you get your info from. But record 1 is Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You, I Saw Her Standing There, Please Please Me, Misery, Do You Want to Know a Secret, Taste of Honey, Twist and Shout. Side 2, For Me to You, Thank You Girl, She Loves You, It Won't Be Long, Please Mr. Postman, All My Loving, Roll Over Beethoven, don't like it, and Money. And then you get the second one. Now, the picture on that does not equate to the music, and that's another thing that annoys me. This would have been better with the third or the fourth, but we get I Want to Hold Your Hand, This Boy, the B-side, great song, Can't Buy Me Love, You Can't Do That, Hard Day's Night, I Should Have Known Better, If I Fell, and I Love Her. And side 2 is Things We Said Today, I'll Be Back, Long Tall Sally, I Call Your Name, Matchbox, Slow Down, She's a Woman, and I Feel Fine. And then we get the third one, and we have 8 Days a Week, No Reply, I'm a Loser, I'll Follow the Sun, Mr. Moonlight, Every Little Thing, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, Kansas City with Hey 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 Hey, and on side 2, Ticket to Ride, I'm Down, Help, The Night Before, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, I Need You, Another Girl, and You're Gonna Lose That Girl. So, and that obviously is from the Help sessions, or the Help film. And then number 4, now that one there looks as if that should have been number 1 for the picture. And we have Yesterday, Act Naturally, Tell Me What You See, which I'm glad is on this because I love the song. It's Only Love, You Like Me Too Much, I've Just Seen a Face, Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out, Michelle, Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood, You Won't See Me, Nowhere Man, Girl, I'm Looking Through You, and In My Life. So it's a really good compilation, and it's over 8 albums, so basically it's nearly the whole catalogue. And then we have, what number are we at? Number 5. And again, that's a very early picture. That should have been probably the second one. And we have Paperback Writer, Rain, Here, There and Everywhere, Taxman, I'm Only Sleeping, which does sound a little bit different actually. I think that's the version that may be on the Yesterday and Today album. Good Day Sunshine, Yellow Submarine, and then side 2, Eleanor Rigby, Andrew Bird Can Sing, For No One, Dr. Robert, Got to Get You Into My Life, Penny Lane, which does have that sort of trumpety bit at the end, the horns, and Strawberry Fields Forever. And then we go on to number 6. And we have Sgt. Pepper, with a little help from my friends, Lucy in the Sky, Fixing a Hole, She's Leaving Home, Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, which really is the whole of side 1 apart from Getting Better and A Day in the Life. So you get Day in the Life actually without the Sgt. Pepper reprise. And on side 2, When I'm 64, Lovely Rita, All You Need Is Love, Baby You're a Rich Man, Magical Mystery Tour, Your Mother Should Know, The Fool in the Hill, and I Am the Walrus. And then 2 more, and we have number 7, which is probably the right cover, and we have Hello Goodbye, Lady Madonna, Hey Jude, Revolution, Back in the USSR, Obla-dee Obla-da, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and on side 2, the continuing story of Bungalow Bill. I think a better one could have been put on instead of that. Happiness is a Warm Gun, Martha My Dear, I'm So Tired, Piggies, Don't Pass Me By, which I'm glad's on because I really do like that, Julia, and All Together Now. There's no Hey Bulldog, which I think is a disgrace. It should have been on this. All Together Now is a nothing song, and Hey Bulldog's a classic, but still, you know, everyone can gripe about the track listing, and everybody will gripe about the track listing, but overall it's absolutely fantastic. And the last one is at number 8, and I like the way they did this. They put the Let It Be material on before the Abbey Road, so you get Back, Don't Let Me Down, The Ballad of John and Yoko, Across the Universe, For You Blue, Two of Us, The Long and Winding Road, Let It Be, and then side 2 is Come Together, Something, Maxwell Silverhammer, Octopus's Garden. So both of Ringo's songs are on this set. Here Comes the Sun, Because, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, The End, Her Majesty, and I think there's only a few seconds between the end of the end and Her Majesty. So again, this cover is wrong. You know, it's little things like that that do sort of bug me. I would rather have, you know, proper pictures from the period that the music is, but anyway. So that's the Beatles box set I bought. As I say, £48, which is probably around, I would say about $58 and 6,000 Canadian dollars. Only joking, but did I get a bargain? Did I pay too much? What do you think? Leave your comments below. And I'm pleased to God, it's a nice addition to the collection, and it's nice to pull out and play like a compilation rather than the album that I know like the back of my hand, and it's nice to hear a different song coming after whichever song you're playing. So anyway, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.